section, this mesh needed to be pulled more. So the machine is automatically determining for you how far to turn each of the rollers. Now if I go over to this far corner, I'm going to show you how the machine is also is leveling the frame for you. And if you notice, there's a wrench in these corners, but there's no wrench in this corner, which is a separate patent from the invention of the Roller Master. And I'm going to turn the pressure off. So we're going down to 0. I'm going to lift this up about 1.5 inches. And now pressure is going to go back on full force. And I'm going to try to resist, but I can't. Turn it off again. And do it again, on. And you can see that the positioning of these 4 wrenches is torquing the frame downward onto these pads. These 4 pads are machined in our CNC machining center so that this frame is perfectly flat. So the machine is determining how far to turn the roller so it's perfectly uniform. The mesh panel is perfectly inserted so the tension, the threads are exactly the correct lengths they need to be, and the corners are still soft enough that we can continue to retensioning the screen some more, but it's not soft enough to go into the print area. Now, I'm going to show you the last step for in production. We're going to lock up the frame. So the last thing that you need to know is you start in this right-hand corner, and this is the position, and then you go clockwise around in this direction. Now, we're going to go up to about 65 foot-pounds. This is a Stretch Devices calibrated aircraft-grade torque wrench with a special handle short, and this goes from forward to reverse just with one finger and on this button. When you go up to 65 foot-pounds, that's a lot of friction, and that's 3 times more force that you need to keep the roller from unraveling. It's the amount of force that you need to keep the frame flat and perfectly square and not go into a parallelogram. So put the wrench in the forward position, and I start torquing this, and I'm just going to use the weight from my shoulder and push down. I'm going to just hold this part of the corner of the frame down as I'm torquing until the wrench clicks. Now it's clicked. As soon as it clicks, you stop. That tells me I'm at 65 foot-pounds. So you need that resistance so that this corner doesn't lift up. Now I come over to here. I'm going to walk around this way so I'm not in the way of the camera. You come over to here. Now when I lock this roller, I'm pushing downward in this direction. They're right-hand threads. So as I'm pushing downward, as the torque starts to build up, and you see I put my left hand out here, because as the torque builds up, the frame will want to lift upward. So by putting just my weight from my shoulder, I'm keeping the far side of that frame from wanting to lift up. And there you hear the click. So that's torqued. Now I come over to this bolt, and now when we lock this bolt, we're going to go back in this direction. Did I miss a bolt? Excuse me, I missed a bolt. Now I'm going to put my hand here because I'm torquing downward again. You hear that click? We're at 65 foot-pounds. Now we come over to here. As torque is pushing this way, this side of the frame is going to come up. So I just put my hand back here. And every time you go to the next corner, you're just reversing the position of where you put your hand to counteract the force from the torque. Click. Come over to here. Excuse me. Got to go around sequentially, clockwise. Now I come over to this side, and so I'm going to put my hand here to keep the long side of the frame from wanting to come up in the air. As I come back to this bolt, now I'm going back in this direction. So I'm going to put my hand at this end of the roller or the corner and just push down until it clicks. Come down to here, and so now I'm going downward with the torque. My hand will want to go here. So the machine, the Roller Master, automatically makes the frame perfectly flat. But in order to keep it perfectly flat after we lock it up, with such a high torque from this wrench, you just need to place your hand in the correct position. Now, you notice that the newtons went up, and now we're at 50 newtons of tension. Because this frame is pre-stressed, and the rollers are pre-stressed outward, which makes this frame, compared to its predecessor models, this is an M3 UL, which stands for ultra light, ultra strong. These rollers are pre-stressed outward, and when I lock up the end plug of the roller comes in, and then it gets tight against the corner, and the rollers go out. So I stretch this to 40 newtons, and now I'm at 50 newtons. So I turn off the air supply. And I'm done. If I tap the opposite corners, you can see that, and you hear that there is no rocking in the frame. The frame is still perfectly mated to these four machine corners. And that is how you use a Newman roller mesh panel, 10-second snap-in panel with the roller frame, and it's completely de-skilled. It's automatically 50 newtons, perfectly uniform, and I didn't use any skill. That's the total sequence that you need to know. So thank you, and Haynes is going to move on better to better places. Bye. Thank you.